Evening, freaks. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lit. And we're diving into that BroadScope 2023 predictions series for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. And I just want to send a little cleansing energy for all the Libra collective out there. This has been a really intense year, 2022, for Libra Collective because of the oppositional dance we've been doing with our ruler Venus to Mars, Aries ruler, our opposite sign on the scales there. Okay, so there's been a lot of finding the balance between polarities, between that love and war. How do you meet in the middle? How do you find the unification point when things feel so divided or of two minds? And this, of course, has been playing out on very much a collective level. So this theme has been playing out in all of the collective's lives. There hasn't been one sign that hasn't felt the impact of the Venus in opposition to Mars energy. And this is only going to continue forward as we move into the future and in 2023 because of the shift in the nodes of fate and destiny. In 2022, we've been moving through the south node of Scorpio. We've been transforming the shadow by creating space for it, actually spending time with the shadow, pulling up a chair for it, listening to what it had to tell us. And we worked with that energy, transformed that energy, brought it into the light, found the gift that was given in the box of darkness, and something really beautiful comes through that's birthed in you in 2023. You will find out what that is birthed in you when you hit the summertime in 2023, in July, when those nodes change, okay? The reason being is that right now we're currently preparing to step into the destiny of Taurus, who also shares our ruler Venus, okay? Which is the north node that we're stepping into, which is all about your sense of worth, what you value at the end of the day, what you will not compromise, the areas where you won't settle, and stepping into that flow of abundance, all because you do know your worth, you do know your value, you do understand what you bring to the table and the contribution you make. This really gets actualized, okay? You see the result of all this hard work in July when the nodes change because we have a switch up happening. We go into that reversal motion. Okay, we go back over old ground, and Aries becomes the north node. All right, the destiny, stepping into that place of self actualization, taking the initiative, working with that alchemical energy to create a new beginning, a brand new cycle in our lives. And Libra is the south node position. So that means seeing the karma dished out, okay? The result of what happens when your actions are weighed in the scale. Did you do enough karmic cleanup work? It will be evident that we are all rising into that place of transformation that is promised in the Magician, which is the card that represents Aries, okay? So this polarity really in play for you. I saw so much coming in, in the pre-shuffle around you, Libra. There was a lot of the Empress kind of playing hide and seek. She was peeking out in the deck. 3 separate times the Empress peeked out in the deck in the pre-shuffle. So I really feel like you have done your work. You've been integrating the lessons of the 4 queens. For those of you who are holding down that strong masculine energy, you have been unifying the lessons of the 4 kings, okay, which are the elemental lessons of the swords and speaking your truth, being able to cut off what doesn't serve you, having that clarity, the mental acuity, really working with your intellect to find your way through situations, to exercise your sound judgment, to the wands energy, which is all about discovering your fire again, bringing your fire forward, allowing yourself to have ambitions, go after your goals, pursue your dreams, feel impassioned by something, aligning with your fuck yes, feeling your mojo, feeling in your element, to aligning with the cups energy that's all about listening to your intuition, feeling your way through, being in touch with your emotions, understanding how to enter into the reciprocal flow, which is the flow of abundance that comes from a place of giving and receiving, which means the heart needs to be unblocked, the heart needs to be cleared. I feel like you're still doing a lot of this clearing work, okay? Just clearing out the heaviness, the cobwebs, the stuff that's gathered around the heart space and all the shadow work you've been doing until you move into that Pentacles energy, grounding all the lessons you've learned in material reality and seeing the subsequent growth, the abundance, and what's on the other side. Where did the light get through those challenges? It's interesting because I didn't want to shuffle and lose it so I could show it to you all. But in the pre-shuffle, what comes in as the bottom of the deck energy is judgment. So I really feel like, Libra, you can rest assured you made the right choices. You moved correctly. You've done the work. You can trust that judgment is in your favor as you enter this cycle. All right. This is your year, 2023, 6:55 on the clock when I said that. Okay. So 55, that's 10. Okay. The things that were brought to a close are bringing new beginnings for you, Libra. Stuff that you never anticipated. It's going to bring very special gifts into your life that were earmarked by spirit. And it's all because you took the risk to trust your path. That's what it really comes down to. And there were times in 2022 where you really had to diverge from the pack and go your own way. And because you did this and because you kept that faith, it's what's leading you into this new cycle where you're going to see so much reward on the other side for the challenges you face. One more thing before we really dive into it here. I came across this message, and at first I didn't know what it was from, where it was coming from, and I couldn't even remember writing it down. But it felt tied to your reading and sort of the energy that you're stepping into in 2023. So I wanted to bring it in. It's a quote, okay? It almost had a lyrical quality to it. There might be a clue there when I say lyric, lyrical. There might be some peace in this. There might be something coming through for you. Music might really communicate strongly with you in 2023. You might be exploring music. You might be doing some songwriting. You might be expressing yourself through poetry. There's something that comes through the written word for you in 2023. But this particular quote says, "Too often they don't realize what they have until it's gone. They're too stubborn to say, 'Sorry, I was wrong.' They hurt the ones closest to their hearts, and we let the most foolish things tear us apart." And I did a search on it, and I discovered that this is a quote from Marilyn Monroe. And it's interesting because I did a late night talk and tarot series where I did some channeling with Marilyn Monroe, and really felt just connected with a lot of her story. She very much had an experience of rising up out of a trauma history. She didn't have the easiest life, but wow, the way she shined, right? And so I feel like there's this piece of you that's rising up out of the traumas you've been through, the challenges you've been through. I got to be true to what's coming in. I got the phrase "eat your heart out." I think you're kind of coming into 2023 with this energy. You don't want to like dim yourself down anymore. You want to step into your potential. It's risky, it's vulnerable territory. You're doing this by kind of like wearing your heart on your sleeve. You're practicing this radical vulnerability, this radical authenticity. You're coming in completely transparent. You're not ashamed of what you went through. You're not ashamed of your wounds. You're not ashamed of where you've come from. It's made you who you are. You have a new appreciation for this. You see the ways it like strengthened certain aspects of your being that couldn't come through any other way. And I really see you having a glow up on this level. It comes from within, it shines outward. But I also, with this being associated with Marilyn Monroe, I do feel like you all are going to be allowing yourselves to kind of take the stage in your life and what you're creating. You're not going to be shy. You're not going to hold yourself back. You're going to go for it. And I see a lot of reward coming through in that area. And there may be some people, you know, that underestimated you, or where you've had falling outs, that might have a different view in how they see you now. They might have a different understanding of you. Maybe there will be a desire to kind of heal some rifts, have some communication. There's some people who will understand that what's really important at the end of the day is not worth investing in pride. You know, sometimes you got to let pride fall away and come to a place where you can just be with each other in a very real space. And that doesn't require perfection. And it's okay. People make mistakes. Sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes we get, you know, led off our path for a while. We have to get lost to find ourselves again. And you may be finding that some things that were lost come back around the bend. There's a new understanding. There's some kind of healing that happens. Maybe there's a need to kind of slough away some of the posturing, like being unaffected, being not in a place of caring. You know, you might have gone a little bit cold, Libra. I picked that up. You know, you might have hit that Queen of Swords, King of Swords in reverse energy at times. Maybe your words have been a bit biting. Maybe there needs to be more softening in this area. So stuff coming up around communication, the more I talk about it, the more that I'm feeling like the kind of holding pattern in the throat chakra. So there's an important piece here, because very much we're looking at, when we look at that throat chakra, we're also looking at what we speak into existence. It's also about our purpose and aligning with our purpose. So if there's blockage in this area, then it prevents the forward motion of your purpose. And in alignment with that message that came in with lyrics, with words, with all of this, I feel that communication is a really important piece in Libra's purpose stepping into 2023. There's a lot that's going to happen in this area. It's happening for the collective, but we have to remember, with that South Node coming in Libra in July of 2023, this is an overarching theme for the collective as a whole. 1313 on the clock when I said that. So it's very significant. It's important. And it is a building block for moving into our future. We have to learn how to communicate in new ways. We have to learn how to work through challenges in new ways. And when I speak of this, I'm speaking in terms of the Libra archetype. So this applies for all signs right here at this moment. It was 1333 on the clock when I said that, okay? This is the work for all of us. We need to have new beginnings on this level if we're to find karmic balance, if we're to find balance with that person on the other side of the scale, a balance between the head and the heart, because that's when we reach our point of power, when we hit that unification point, right? So big download coming in. Please engage your intuition in receiving this read. Listen to the overarching themes. Understand I'm reading for a collective, so not every message is going to apply to you, but if you listen to the energy in play and run it through your own intuition, you're going to understand how it's speaking to you. We are going to be doing a zodiac spread where we look at all the 12 houses and the areas of life they rule over. So we're going to get a comprehensive view of what's coming in for you in 2023 in all areas of life. It's a fun read. It provides a lot of insight. I might start working with this more because I've really enjoyed this, just the clarity it brings in doing a general read. Let me know what you think about it. You know, drop a comment to me and let me know how you feel about the zodiac spread. I'm kind of digging it. I like the free flow too. I like it both. I like it all. We can have it all, right? I do bring the signs in, all right? When I bring the signs in, understand it's for any strong placement in the chart. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, okay? Or even a loaded house. So don't get too stuck on that. Again, pay attention to the energy. You'll know who it's talking about. And also in that case, there can be role reversal. Cross-watcher energy can come in. Again, you'll know how to identify who is speaking up in your situation or whether it's you. If you find yourself becoming activated about anything, use it as an opportunity for self-reflection. Why is that coming up? Why is it dinging you? Is there maybe something there for you to look at that might be hard to look at? This is how we grow. This is how we go beyond our shit. If you're hearing a cross-watcher perspective, it might be aggravating to you. And this could be very insightful if you work with the energy in the right way. It's giving you a clue to how you can find that meeting point with the person on the other side of the fence. All right. And maybe you can take down that fence and you can find the way to togetherness. Okay. So these energies coming in very strongly for you, Libra. Flip the roles as you need to, but most of all, please have fun. Just enjoy entering into the space of creativity with me. And thank you for all of you who are choosing to spend your time with me. Time is so valuable. It's so precious. And so it really means a lot to me that you are joining me for the read. I will have timestamps for you. During this shuffling process and layout, it takes me about 5 minutes. But it's important to me to shuffle on camera so you know we're having an organic experience together. That being said, I have channeled messages that often come in while I'm shuffling. If you choose to skip ahead, if you view this on the replay, you may miss out on some important info. So, it's up to you, your free will, your free choice. I will have the timestamps, but we're going to head into the shuffling portion now. And let's see what's in store for us. Oh man, bottom of the deck energy, 10 of Cups, okay? This is a place of fulfillment. And it really looks like you're coming together with that person where maybe there was some division. So I do see that in matters of the heart, there is some kind of union taking place. And this is something that's got roots. It's got strength. It's got solidity. And there's a lot of beauty that's going to grow in your life as a result of this. There's a lot of happiness here. This is like the true love, the creme de la creme. It's what you hope for. The thing that I really like about this card too is that there's this like certain lightness of being, this beautiful lightness of being. And it allows so much happiness to grow from this space. It's just that beautiful time of feeling that place of being in love, being in love. I do see with the 10 of Cups, though, we know that on the way to the 10 of Cups, you got to pass through all the other cycles. So there's been some kind of big letting go. You had to let an old cycle end to welcome this in. This is a beautiful way to begin the read as the point of the basis of the matter for 2022. This is the foundation. I'm loving this. Okay. Fulfillment, we got definite fulfillment coming in. Let's lay it out. We're looking first at what is coming in for Libra in terms of how they're going to be feeling, how they're going to be presenting themselves, where they're going to be at in 2023. Where's Libra going to be at in 2023? Okay. All right, here, let's see. How are finances going to be for Libra in 2023? That wanted to flip right over. Crossing influence. Okay, so there's some kind of major decision to make in the area of finances in 2023. How's communication going to be? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Heavy hitter in the communication area. So communication is definitely an important factor in 2023. What's coming in for home for Libra in 2023? All right, interesting. Okay, what is coming in terms of romance? Whoa, that came out really fast. Another crossing influence, so big decision to make in terms of romance. Also in the area of just pleasure, enjoying the good things in life, having some fun, taking it easy. This might be something you really need to consider how you can bring more of the sweet taste of life in 2023, especially if you've been dealing with a lot of kind of bitter experiences. All right. Okay. What is going to be happening in work and routine for Libra in 2023? What's going to be happening in work and routine for Libra in 2023? What is going to be happening in work and routine for Libra in 2023? Okay. Another crossing energy. There's just like so much cross 2020. Okay. I think you can trust your vision in 2023 when you're making these decisions. You've already benefited from the hindsight. You've been incorporating the lessons you've learned in any of your choices. And I think you're going to make very clear cut decisions that will be beneficial for you, right? They're really going to lead to that clear vision as you move forward and step into this next chapter. Okay, let's look at the area of love relationships, committed love relationships, unions, marriages. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Really good one there. Okay. I look forward to talking to you all about that. What's coming up in the area of sex, death, transformation, the occult in 2023? All that stuff we gained from that South Node Scorpio deep dive. It still is, taking center stage for the first 6 months of 2023. So let's see what's in store there. Okay. And what's coming up in travel, expansion, and spirituality for Libra in 2023? What's coming up in travel, expansion, and spirituality in 2023? What's coming up in travel, expansion? Okay. Interesting. All right. What's coming up in PR, career, image, brand? Wow. That's huge. Okay. What is coming up in friends, community for Libra in 2023? What's coming up in friends and community for Libra? Ooh. It landed right on my arm. All right, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. It's interesting that it landed on my arm. I mean, you can't see it well on here, but I have a very special like ritual piece I got done on my arm here. This is Chamundie. She's the trauma goddess. Okay. She helps you integrate trauma and sort of embrace those thorns so you can get to the sweetness of the rose, So I feel there's something coming up in here in relation to this, and we'll talk about it when we get to that section, but I just wanted to make a note of it right now. Okay. And then let's look at what is the karma for Libra in 2023. What is the karma for Libra in 2023? What is the work to be done? Tell us about the evolutionary process for us in 2023, and let us know about any hidden enemies as well. This is the house, hidden enemies, the blind spot. Okay, this flipped right over. Oh, all right. Good to know. Oh, I'm digging this energy. We're going to hold off on getting an overarching theme card until we're done with reading these positions. Okay. So I'm just noting it here, 23:28 for the timestamp when the read starts. I should have put down when the 23. I'm trying to get better about writing down timestamps during, and I just totally spaced out. I went on a channeling tangent. What can you do? What can you do? I'll get there, man. I'm figuring it out as I go along. I'm still relatively new at YouTube, okay? You just completed my first year with me. So thank you to all of you who have been here since the start and have been helping me grow the channel with your support. It really means so much to me. Thank you. And welcome to all the new subscribers. I'm going to be bringing so much good, fun stuff in 2023. So I'm excited for you all to see that. Okay, let's do it. So here we go. This is awesome. This is you in 2023. Queen of Pentacles energy. This is you manifesting your visions. It's no longer just the dream. It's no longer an idea. It's no longer something that you're going to get to someday. No, you are standing on it. You built this for yourself. You called it into being. Finances on point. Okay. You're in a good place of stability. You're also in a really good place of stability emotionally. This is being grounded in your element. It's like pre-Empress energy. And this is just a wonderful place of abundance, growth, and solidity. And you did it for yourself. You created this for yourself. And there's this promise too of this new beginning here, a solid new beginning where you've been wanting to see a change in your life. Look at that Ace of Pentacles hanging out there. It's going to happen. Okay. There's a serious offer that's coming in for you in 2023 that's radically going to change your life. It is the making of your dreams. It is the seed of your dreams, and you will see it come to fruition. Very strong way to open up your read for 2023. Very beautiful energy. You also may find that you're dealing with a lot of earth sign energy in 2023, or you might have earth strongly aspected in your chart. For the areas where you have earth strongly aspected in your chart, look at what houses for what signs, those are in. And that will give you a clue as to where you're really going to see a lot of growth, offers, and abundance in your life manifesting. Okay. So this would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. I also see that you have really done that work that was required to step into your sense of self-worth, value, self-esteem. You're feeling confident in yourself. You're feeling grounded and rooted in yourself. And you're moving into that destiny of the Taurus North Node. So you're definitely going to step into this. You're not in a place of settling. You know that you can create for yourself. You know that you are abundant, and you feel very solid. This is in your element, and it's a beautiful thing. Very strong way to start off 2023. Now, your finances, get in the bag. It's coming up in a crossed position. All right. And it's interesting because we got the 9 of Wands, right? I feel like with this 9 of Wands coming up here, there's some way that you are blocking your abundance. And there's something you need to transform around this behavior. This is something you need to look at. It's like you want to open up to your full potential and you want to see growth financially, but you're kind of blocking it. And you're blocking it because there's part of you that's like almost anticipating that things aren't going to go well. It's like an inner block. It has a lot to do with what you learned about finances when you were a kid, sort of what you saw in your family dynamic around money. It might even be in your bloodline. There might be a history in your family bloodline of like financial issues or people just not being able to generate that kind of security. You might have grown up in an environment that wasn't very financially secure. This might be really rooted in your psychology. And so there's something you need to uproot here. There's something you need to pull out like a weed. So you're not continually recreating this kind of template for your future, all right? But it's very much a living out of the past mentality. It's not something that's actually present. We know this because you open up as the Queen of Pentacles, okay? So I feel this is like a fear. It's a fear of stepping into the potential of what you're building for yourself financially. For some of you, it feels foreign to be in a place of security. And because it feels foreign, it's almost more comfortable to be in this place where things are unstable. And so you don't really know how to step into this place. It might feel awkward at first. I also feel like there might be some little habits you have, that actually are blocking your abundance. It's interesting. I'm getting kind of a weird message here in relation to this. There's something about not getting distracted, sort of by what's on the periphery. Like you might have been dealing with a lot of circumstances where you had to kind of defend yourself, defend your turf. You had to kind of create space for yourself. This could distract you from your work. I feel like you need to become very mindful of like also protecting your space, the space that you have designated for focusing on what you're building for yourself financially, on focusing on your work, not letting outside energies intrude on that. that this is actually something that blocks your abundance because it interferes with your effectiveness to get certain things done that are necessary for you to move forward. You also may feel tired, you may feel like you've really been working against a lot of resistance to get the finances going. This is something that's been stressful for you. Remember to have a nice balance. Make sure you're taking time to rest. Rest is important too. Remember, it's an ebb and flow to move into that place of financial abundance requires that there's a giving and receiving. You can't block up the energy. You can't have all work and no play, right? You can't just go, go, go and, run yourself into the ground, never take time to rest. You'll be depleted. You won't bring your best forward. All right. So there's all these pieces, but I do feel it's really important to designate what space is for you to focus on your finances, do the work you need to do, block off your schedule, and don't allow, whatever is happening on the periphery to distract you from the work to be done. And you'll see a lot of forward motion in finances. All right. Also, get out of your head about the other shoe's going to drop. Some of you are finally seeing momentum for what you're doing, what you're creating. And then you get into this space where you think something's going to happen to make it all go south. Don't get in your own way. A lot of it revolves around your mentality. There's a lot of work you need to do around how you view prosperity, your relationship to money, and how this is rooted in your psychology. And I believe it has to do with something foundational, like how you grew up and what the adults around you had to say about money, what their perceptions were. There's some work to be done here, okay? In the area of communication, I see that there was some tower that fell, okay? But there is a revisiting, all right? So I feel like there was some kind of deceit, there was some kind of illusion, there was some kind of connection that was built on a faulty foundation. This came down, but with the tower in reverse, I feel like this is a revisiting the situation, okay? Maybe things have cooled off a bit. Now people can have a clearer communication. There can be a willingness to revisit this, to look at things honestly, to speak from a very transparent place. Can this be repaired? This is kind of coming forward. There's some kind of healing process in place, but it does involve something that was very disruptive and very painful. Okay. So anticipate that areas of communication, there may be a lot of activation around this as this comes up and you enter into these conversations. It's 33:11 on the clock. All right. Don't worry. There's going to be help and support for this process. And it is very much aligned with your purpose and moving forward. There's certain people that there were falling outs or certain people kind of got, severed that need to come back together to have a certain healing and rebuild perhaps on a totally new foundation. All right. So be open. Don't get stubborn. Don't get stuck in old ways of thinking of things. Allow your mind to be blown. Allow for a possibility to come in. It was 33:44 on the clock when I said that. Okay. There's a lot that's happening here. There's a lot of synchronicity around your communications too. It's giving you an opportunity to look at what caused things to kind of fall apart and how can new foundations be put in place that bring things back together. All right. So important work happening there. Now, in the area of home, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. All right. This is an interesting energy because Queen of Cups in reverse can deal a lot with feeling like emotionally manipulative or dealing with somebody emotionally manipulative. You may have been dealing with somebody emotionally manipulative. This affected your home life. This is water sign energy. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio in the main frame there. That's coming in for some of you. Some of you had this coming in for somebody. Your mother had some kind of health scare and you had to kind of have a role reversal. You had to come into the living situation, or you may have to in 2023. As I'm channeling, things come in so much in the present moment, but This is a predictive read. So we're looking at 2023. This may be something coming in. There could be the potential of a mother having some health issues, maybe needing some caregiver support. You might be considering moving in to help provide this for your mother. Ted's been really communicative since we started this read. So I think there's a lot coming up around communication. There might need to be some healing work done around the mother. You might be looking a lot at what your relationship was like with your mother. And there might be something coming up for healing around this. Is that so, Ted? He says yes. Okay. Maybe your mother wants to express some things and doesn't feel safe in kind of bringing that vulnerability forward. So if that's speaking to you, you might want to create this space and invite an opportunity for your mom to come forward and clear the air with you. It might really help you heal some foundational issues. And bringing back that piece about the finances, to enter into that reciprocal flow, you need to have a good relationship with the mother. Okay. Mother's all about nurturing, receiving. Okay. So there's some work to do around this, definitely. I also feel like some of you are feeling a little homesick, you're feeling a little out of your element. You're wanting to visit home. You're wanting to touch base with your roots. You're not feeling very nurtured in the home environment. You might want to make some changes in the home environment. You might want to move closer to a body of water. That might be very important for you. Might be considering a move. There's something about this. Something also about like not feeling supported in the home environment and bringing focus to how can it be more of a supportive environment. This coming in very strongly in 2023. Okay, then we have earthly pleasures, creativity, and romance. It came up as a crossing influence. This is something you need to pay attention to, Libra. We got the devil here. Okay, so you might find a lot of temptation in this area in 2023. You might also be in a very self-indulgent phase. The devil doesn't always have to be a bad thing. It can be the debauchery side of the devil. I feel like there is a bit of this. I think in particularly, you're looking for a bit more adventure, you're looking to kind of dive into sexual exploration a little bit more. You might be wanting some of the finer things. Some of you, as the money does free up and starts to roll in, you might have a tendency to go a little overboard in spending on luxury. Be aware of this. Make sure you have it in balance. There is the tendency that you might be a little overindulgent this year, 2023. This might be something that's a little challenging for you. And in areas of romance, you might be tempted to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. There might be an old devil that comes around. You might think, better the devil I know, be aware of putting yourself in compromising positions. Be aware of temptation. What's the cost of temptation? May seem fun in the moment, but, might not turn out the way you like. I mean, we do see, the chains here. We do see binding here, I have to bring it in because it's coming in and it's BroadCoven. Maybe there's somebody that you feel kind of chained to. Maybe somebody's been doing some kind of love workings. That could go on either side, so pick what side you're on with that. But there's something here about being aware of the ties that can bind in the area of romance and how it can actually it might look good, but it might not be all it's cracked up to be with that blindfold there. All right, the blindfold. There's something concealed in romance. All right, you're kind of working the edge in the earthly pleasures department. Have some fun. All right, I'm all for that. sink into a little bit of the deliciousness of it all, but do be mindful, of where things are heading and that you don't put yourself in a compromising position. All right. I feel like there's a lot of sexual exploration, though. I'm really picking that up with that particular card there with the devil. I think it's a connection that might really tempt you sexually, but is it worth it? Think about that. All right. Um, Next, we're looking at work routine. Okay, got a great card coming up here. We do have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, Earth sign energy. You're really rooting. You're really rooting your vision. You're rooting your finances. You're rooting your stability. Okay. We know you're going to get that Ace of Pentacles that the Knight holds. All right. We see it. It's there with the Queen of Pentacles right there. You're building something for yourself. You are doing the work. You are doing the work. You're very focused. You're really like nose to the grindstone in 2023. You're going to be working hard, but you're playing the long game. You're not looking at like some flash in the pan success. You're looking at building a legacy. The work that you put in, where you invest, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off big time, big time. Okay. So at the times when it does feel like, oh gosh, I'm working really hard here, when is it going to pay off? Because Nine of Pentacles, it's a slow moving energy. This thing builds slowly, okay? But you're going to be so glad you invested in this direction with your work because it's going to take you to the other level. You're going to be so rewarded in the end for your efforts, okay? And then in the area of love, partnerships, unions, this is beautiful, okay? Eight Pentacles. You're getting on the same page with somebody, and it was 42 on the clock when I said that, all right? So this is coming into alignment with your purpose. It brings special gifts to you. This is somebody who is totally invested in the growth of a relationship with you. They're ready to grow too. They're ready to do the work. And there's this beautiful experience of partnership. It's not just a partnership. You're co-creating this with each other, and you're co-creating your relationship on a level where you're really looking at long term. We want this thing to be solid, so we're going to do it the right way. We're putting in the work and we're laying down the foundation. This is also you building your future together. It's a very positive sign of growth in romantic relationships, commitments. Okay. There's definitely something positive happening here. I also feel with your work is like a labor of love. You love what you're doing, you're pouring your heart into it. There's a creative aspect to it. It's part of your purpose. You're committed to it, and there's definite growth in this area. Now, in the area of sex, death, transformation, the occult, we got blocking energy here. Like, I think you have felt, for those of you who are on witchy paths, that there's been attempts to block your forward motion. You might have felt this energy thrown your way. I think you've effectively blocked this energy. That energy is just boomeranging back. I think you're really protecting your space. I also think you are creating firm boundaries. There is a mirror back here. Okay. So this is this kind of like reflecting the energy back at the person who's sending it. You might be working with mirror magic in this way, to just protect your space. I feel like you're also taking space for yourself. You're in a process where you're really working on yourself. You're in a process of self transformation right now. You're putting a lot of your energy into transforming within to see the result without. And it's interesting because I think that might be why that devil card came up in romance, why it might be such a temptation. Some of you may be in a period of abstinence. You may be choosing not to have sex, okay? And because of this, when the opportunity for that pleasure comes around, it might be very tempting. You're in some transformational process here, though. I think that you're wanting to protect your energy, and we see that too at the beginning there with the Nine of Wands, this kind of blocking energy. You're holding off. You want the real deal. You want somebody who will grow with you with that butterfly energy there. I think you're okay with waiting until the right situation comes along before you just dive into anything. You're also still in a process of needing your space to, just sort of assimilate different endings you went through in your life. different experiences you've had. And you're very focused in this way. So I really see you just wanting to preserve your own energy, wanting to kind of come back into your center, because there was a lot in the past that sort of pulled you out of that center and you're coming back within. And this is a very deep, like spiritually transformational process for you. And you're spending a lot of time in this space as you open up in 2023. With travel, expansion, spirituality, again, I have to bring it in. Like you've had thwarting energy around you with this Eight of Swords, all right? Something's been blocking your energy. There's something that you need to take care of that will free you up so you can move into the expansion you want. With the Eight of Swords, I do feel there's been, again, I have to bring it in. Some of you have had people doing blocking work on you. You have. There have been people who've been trying to thwart your progress. I think if you take off the blinders and look at things as they are, you'll be able to call out who these people are. I think you need to weed them out of your environment, all right? You need to free yourself from this situation. Nobody has this power over you, okay? Nobody has this power over you, but don't like rub elbows with people who are working against you. You know what I'm saying? This coming in very strongly. I also feel like you're not really going to be doing a lot of travel in 2023. You're kind of going to be keeping to yourself. I think you're really working on bringing things into the finish line and you don't want to be distracted. So you're sort of like creating space for yourself. And there's some blockage here too. There's a bit of blockage here. There's something that you need to resolve internally before you get forward motion on that level. There's some kind of something you're ruminating on. You can't make up your mind about it, all right? You need to get clear, and from there you'll be able to kind of move forward. I feel like also there's some kind of like red tape, something you need to clear up, that will allow you to move more into that expansion. But you're taking care of some things first before you have any opportunities for that. I don't think there's going to be a lot of travel for you in 2023. If you do, it'll probably be very, very much local, very much local. You're kind of keeping more to yourself, more to yourself. I think your circles become kind of small in that regard. Like who you really let into that closest part of you has become kind of small, and you might be feeling more this desire to kind of keep your energy to yourself. This is really coming in with you as you enter 2023. You're in this like energy signature. After that, we are looking at PR, career, image, brand. Man, this is so, so good. Strength. Okay. Strength. And there's that Empress energy. I think you've transformed some behaviors that maybe in the past were kind of not taking things in the right direction. And you were able to acknowledge ways you need to refine how you were putting your message out there, how you're putting your work out there, how you're putting yourself out there. And you're really successful in this. I think you strike the balance, but this is so, so positive. This is really like a victory card to come into this area. You got a very strong presence in 2023. You're building a very strong brand. This is like legacy energy, okay? Very, very positive. All that work you put in the past, it's really going to pay off. You're really creating your own platform for yourself as you move into 2023, and it's just going to continue to build as you move throughout the year, okay? And it was 49:22 on the clock when I said that, all right? So 13:22, power number there. Two power numbers. 13 is a witch's power number. So if you're doing anything in relation to the occult, anything in relation to metaphysics or something along those lines, if you have this kind of slant with your work, you'll see a lot of success, all right? But this is just very much in your element and really making a name for yourself. You're building legacy energy. So super positive card to come up there. You're coming out real strong. And you got a good reputation on on the level of, as far as your PR is concerned. People can see the strength of what you built and the place it's coming from. Friends, community, I have to bring it in. 7 of Swords. There are some people you do need to block. All right. These people are going to get called out to you in 2023. There are people that have been trying to, come at you. Again, there's the drama distraction I was talking about. You need to, secure your space. You know what's right for you. You know what you want to invest in. You know what you need to do. You might have a lot of people with their opinions coming at you. Everybody has a different idea about what you should do, what your choices should be. You know what you need to do. All right. You definitely need to protect your space. And again, I feel like this Ace of Pentacles energy with that shield, you're holding up there. It's like, no, I'm going for this new beginning. I'm going for my new beginning. I'm pouring everything into it. I'm not going to let anything distract me, detour me. And there are some people that are straight up trying to block your way. Okay. So you need to weed out the bad apples in the bunch. And only then are you going to really be able to preserve what you're calling in. I suggest you don't let a lot of people into what you're doing in 2023. I hate to bring that forward, but it's pretty front and center in your read. All right. You need to be live to this. You need to pay attention to this. Super important. Protect your ideas, protect your moves, move in silence, strike like a thunderbolt. Okay. That's how you need to move. 51:51 on the clock when I said it. I'm telling you. That's how you're going to manifest your purpose. All right. It's going to be a big help to you in moving forward. Now, in karma, hidden enemies, evolution, bam, you are free and clear. You've done your karmic balancing. You're moving straight forward. You're moving forward with passion and purpose with this Knight of Wands energy. That could involve an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire sign energy there. You may have fire strongly aspected in your chart, and it's really being called forward. You might also find that there's some hidden enemies in association with fire signs that you need to be live to. Okay, so pay attention to that. With karma, you might also be looking at somebody coming towards you, a fire sign energy, that there's some kind of karmic work, karmic healing to do, a balancing out to do. So there's something that needs to go through an evolutionary process here. There might be people that are trying to block this energy from coming forward to you as well, with that hidden enemies influence in the 12th house. Okay, something to be live to. And I want to get an overarching theme energy for you in 2023 with a super awesome future deck. What is the overarching theme for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars in 2023, Spirit? Give us an overarching theme. All right. It looks like love. Okay, it looks like love. And with the 3 energy, and what I'm getting with this cherub, okay, and this arrow here, I have to speak to this. It's very dominant in your reading. I think there's somebody who doesn't want to see this happen. There's somebody, or there's somebodies who don't want to see this connection come to fruition, all right? I feel like these are darts, the arrows of like envy, the arrows of jealousy, the arrows of other people coveting, maybe coveting your partner, trying to block this energy from coming together. This is like third party interference, all right? I see that nothing is going to stop this, okay? You got love coming in here, but you do have to be aware that you got this blocking energy around you. And it's very important that you protect this, that you preserve this, because it's a long time coming. Yeah, somebody is very selfish. We got the pig, bottom of the deck energy. Somebody is very selfish. They don't care about who gets hurt in this process. They just want what they want, all right? I feel this very covetous, envious energy. You need to be aware of this. I think spiritually cleansing, just, making sure you're cleansing your energy on a regular basis is something you need to be more mindful of. You also need to be more mindful of who you really let into your inner world. I think you were a little more open and gracious in that regard in the past, and you need to be more mindful now. But you know, love always wins at the end of the day. Let's do a cut of the deck energy here, see what we get. Okay, we got the handshake to the cat lady. All right. So I feel like this is a clue. This is a clue. With the cat lady, I think there is, you know, somebody in this situation. This feels like the divisory element. This is the divisory element. There's some feminine in this situation. She's being identified as the cat lady. Okay, could be Leo, somebody with a strong Leo placement in their chart. I mean, they are associated with cats. There's somebody that, like, they come off like they're your friend. They come off like they're supportive, but really, you know, look at this lobster claw, like holding on to this hand, squeezing the life out of it. It's a front. It's not real. I think this person, you know, they are envious because they feel alone. They don't feel like they got this like love connection that they're looking for. There might be a few people involved in this situation. Cats to me represent feminine energy. They also represent cattiness, okay? In particular, gossip, you know. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 cats here hanging out, okay? So there could be a lot of people that are drawn to this particular person that you're going to be coming into union with. There could be multiple feminines interfering in this situation. This person could be sharing too much of their business, or you could be sharing too much of your business with multiple feminines. And this is creating a problematic situation. Again, look, I see with this hands joined up here in spirit, what's important to you, you need to keep it more like in the background. These people don't need to know what's going on in your situation. They don't need to know. The agreement you have is not between these people who are trying to kind of like pry into your business. The agreement you have is with this person, okay? This person that you're coming into union with. I think you do have, ironically, I think you have some masculine energies around that are very loyal. They're looking out for you. They're making sure that, you know, nothing interferes with this process. So it's like, I got almost like goon squad energy. I love it. It's pretty wild. Just know, Libra, you know, you worked really hard. You worked really hard to get here. And you also worked really hard to get to this place where, you know, you can come into this kind of love with this other person. You both really have done a lot of work. So don't let anything shake that up. Don't let anything shake that up or come into a place of interference with it, all right? Because, yeah, you know, something's coming along. I think it's going to really take you by surprise with this lightning. That 25 there, that's a 7. 2023 is a 7-year, okay? It brings in luck. It brings in a lot of spiritual blessings. Something's coming in. Some connection is coming in. It's going to take you by surprise. It's going to take you by storm. It's going to light you up. I'm hearing that Cure song, Hot, 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 okay? Give that a listen. That is definitely your energy signature for 2023. I like it when that lightning comes.